This is Shelley Craft coming to you live on SNN Live. We're coming to you from the 7th Annual Precious Metals Summit in Beaver Creek, Colorado, 2017. I have with me on today's program Doug Eaton from Strategic Metals Limited. It's a publicly traded company. I'm going to give you two symbols. One is SMD on the TSXV, and one is SMDZF on the OTC markets in the U.S. Doug, welcome back to SNN Live.
Thank you for having me back, Shelley.
It's good to have you. Let's get started with a brief overview of Strategic, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Strategic Metals is a junior mining company. We're Explorer. Our main focus is project generation. As such, we have many properties, in fact, 120 at the present time, mostly in Yukon Territory.
So, Doug, are the resources diverse, gold, copper, forget like silver, or are you mostly gold?
Actually, just about everything. We have several projects with multiple metals. We have some that are pure base metals, some are pure precious metals, even things like lithium and tungsten. We're very, very, very diverse.
So that way you are basically protected from anyone going too far down or too far up.
Absolutely. Gives us virtually something's always in flavor. In addition to that, we cover just about every type of deposit, so that as the different models go in and out of vogue, bulk tonnage versus, say, high grade, we always have something that's appropriate for the market.
So then with that amount of projects, you must be global.
No, in actual fact, we're very much concentrated in Yukon Territory and northern British Columbia. That's the area that we know really, really well. That's where I've worked my entire career. We have huge databases. That's what we mine to make our acquisitions.
So that differentiates you in a way.
Oh, it sure does. It very much differentiates us, but we've always done well there. It's such a good jurisdiction to work in. It's got very, very promising geology, good infrastructure, and the governments are very supportive of what we're doing.
Doug, you mentioned databases. Could you be clear on exactly what that means in the resource industry?
Right. Okay, so there's multiple types of databases. The most common are what's termed public databases. They're available to every explorer. What's really important is access to proprietary databases, information that isn't available to just anybody off the street. And we're very lucky. We did a lot of work back in the 1960s, 1970s, 1980s that didn't get into the public realm. It's completely in our databases alone. Then there's a third type, which is intellectual, sort of your personal knowledge. And in many respects, you can have access to as much information, whether it's computer accessible or not. If you can't use your head, it's not going to come out to your advantage.
And walking property has a lot to do with that, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So no, we're boots on the ground. We've had some discoveries this year on what were very early stage projects, and one day will make the difference between something of very little interest and something that just blows your mind.
Tell me what excites you in your portfolio.
Well, up until a few days ago, I could have told you any number of projects that have had drilling. But right now, I'm very excited about a project that we had 3 people on for one day earlier this year, which was at the very, very bottom of our portfolio, and it's rocketed up into our top 10 on the basis of soil geochemical results that are beyond anything I've ever seen. And so,
how often does that happen?
I've been trying to figure it out. In 45 years, I don't think I've got a parallel to it. So that's why I said it blows my mind.
So how does the price of underlying commodities affect a project generator?
Fairly significantly, because obviously we want to be going after projects that projects that have commodities that are in favor, that are rising in value, or thought to expect to be rising in value in the next few years. We constantly shuffle the deck. We keep looking for projects that are prospective in almost any environment. Like, for example, a very high-grade gold can withstand some pretty severe shock to gold pricing. A bulk tonnage gold is very sensitive to pricing.
What's your background?
I'm a geologist. Before that, I was a political science student. Spent my entire career in the Yukon. I started as a very, very bottom as a soil sampler with Archer Catherine Associates, and ultimately ended up owning the company outright. But I've been involved with junior mining companies since 1984.
What's the criteria that you use when choosing your junior operating partner?
My junior operating partner, I'm always looking for people. You can, my IR man will laugh when I say this, but the most important thing is intelligence. You can teach people what they need to know, but you can't make them smarter. The second most important thing is loyalty. I don't want to spend half my life teaching somebody to be good at something and have them leave just when they get really good.
Tell me about the team around you.
Okay, a few years ago, in 2012, I owned a consulting company outright, and I saw an opportunity to bring in 5 young partners and mentor them for the rest of my career and make them the very best geologists they can. And now that's working out very, very well. We do the same thing with the junior companies we're associated with. We try to always let people learn from their mistakes, guard them a little bit from making mistakes. Don't make too bad a mistake, but be there and support them when they need the help.
Let's get your website out for more information for our investor audience, if you would.
Okay, strategicmetalsltd.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Doug Eaton, Strategic Metals Limited, publicly traded company. I'm going to give you 2 symbols, SMD on the TSXV, SMDZF on the OTC markets in the U.S. I'm Shelley Craft. This is SNN Live, and we're coming to you live from the 7th Annual Precious Metals Summit in Beaver Creek, Colorado, 2017. Doug, always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you again, Shelley. Thank you very much.